I'd like to welcome in our guest, Mr. Laws. How are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for having me.
I appreciate it. I do apologise about the time mix-up. He thought it was tomorrow,
Yeah,
June the 24th.
yeah, my fault. My fault.
No,
Yeah,
no,
but I guess we'll a pretty big time difference in between us, so
100%.
still my
It's 9 o'clock on
apologies.
Sunday here, 1 a.m. in Germany, and about 4 p.m. in the US. Um, so, firstly, let's dive into your little one-on-one little interview. Can we ask what brought you into the world of Dayz? How did you arrive into playing and coding for the game?
So, KZ, generally I started off on PC with Armor. As most people know, DayZ was a mod for Armor 3, I think, was it?
Yep.
But even before that, it was some YouTuber, so Soviet Womble, what his name was. And I was always watching how DayZ was like really, really open world, really tactics, really strategies and stuff. So that's what generally pushed me towards trying out DayZ and trying out armor mods, so to say. Afterwards, I honestly laid low for a good while. I didn't play much. I tried coding my own server, as everybody else also tried coding their own server. But I honestly had medium level. I would rather say little success with that because it was really hard, to be honest. It's much harder than people would expect from it. Um, I rather stick to the coding of bots and that's that. Coding a Daisy server is unexpectedly hard, you know. Like heads off for all the Daisy server owners, because it's much more work than somebody from the outside would expect. For the kill
Hundred
feed and
percent.
stuff, it all really started out when a buddy of mine, we were like freelancers and so on. There were jobs, there were appearances for a lot of DayZ bots and so on. We tried our luck on that. My early friend, which I'm still friends with, left after a while, but I kept going with the bots. There was some drama on the start. I gotta admit, like there's always some drama
There's
somewhere,
always drama in the
but
Daisy
luck,
world.
yeah, sadly, but I mean, uh, it's maybe better that way, you know. You see people are actually passionate about the whole game. They're actually passionate about what they do. You know, there wouldn't be no drama if people would be like, oh, yeah, I don't care about it, you know.
100%. Hundred
Uh,
percent.
and yeah, I started out as a freelance bot developer, then afterwards started the Lost Killfeed. It was like 4 or 5 years ago. This is the second Killfeed after Jabers.
Yep.
I must say Jaber led the way with Killfeed bots and everything around it.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, they did.
that's how I came to be here.
That's that's definitely the very starts of it. There was the two Jeevers and Laws battling it out, but that's actually a hectic history of how it all started. Um, um, over your time of spend that you've spent making, the kill feed bots, what's been the hardest part of your journey?
The hardest part of the journey, that's never actually questioned myself that, but oh, mate, if I'm gonna be honest, the hardest part was seeing people leave in different ways, to be honest.
Y-
A lot of people I felt like I personally known for years have left not just DayZ, but li life itself, I would say. Uh, you know, when the whole connecting to the community part, I took, I would say, a bit too serious.
Yep.
But if you're asking me for the coding part, generally everything was here and there. To be honest, there was some harder parts. I must say, like I learned a lot through coding for Daisy. Like I learned a lot of stuff. A lot of improvements happened over the years with Daisy coding. And honestly, I'm happy to have found this community not just because of the bot, but because of my further development. Because as a programmer, I gotta admit.
Yeah, that's cool to hear. The
Yeah.
actual community has driven you to expand your horizons and learn more.
Oh, that for sure. That for sure. Trust me, like the community is awesome with the ideas. Like every day there's somebody else with another idea. There's every day there's somebody else with some crazy plans of a server, something totally unique. It's honestly sad to see that a lot of people are actually leaving because the customizability of DayZ I gotta admit it's pretty high, but it's never enough for the ideas of some people. But of yeah, exactly, the ideas of some people. Like there's never gonna be enough features. There's never gonna be enough room, space for all the creativity of a lot of people I've met through the years.
Yeah, 100%. Especially with the modding community out there, pumping, all these assets into the game and expanding it, and expanding other people's ideas, and putting more ideas in other people's heads. I don't think it'll ever stop. Um, what's your If you were to sit down and play Daisy, what is your style of server you would go to play?
Honestly, I didn't like. I have a few test servers on my own where I just log in and try out stuff, but I haven't actually played actively DayZ for maybe 2.5 years now. Because honestly, there's not much time of actually playing games anymore after like. There's always tickets, there's always some ideas, there's always something to work on. Before when I had not had so many people give me ideas, I would join in on the game and check out and maybe get some ideas through the game. But at the moment, there's enough people PMing me, whispering me ideas, so I don't really have to get on and think, oh yeah, that might be a good idea, that might be a good idea. Nah,
There's no
there's
short
a
supply
lot
of
of bigger
ideas
brains.
flowing into you now. You got too many of.
Yeah, there's no short supply.
Yeah.
Luckily, the community is very, very creative, unexpectedly creative. I did mods for GTA 5, the 5 ending. Uh, Before that, I also did mods for San Andreas multiplayer, generally open world games, but
Yeah.
unexpected amount of ideas on the Daisy community is amazing, to be honest.
Yeah, that's pretty cool to hear from that sort of aspect, especially, GTA is a big game, and a lot of modding happens in that game too. But no, the DayZ community is very creative. Um, what's your thoughts of the next update? Have you seen much of the next update?
I honestly just read the technical parts about some of the improvements, about the audio enhancements and the draw distance enhancements. I honestly hope just the current consoles can keep up with what's coming. That's honestly my only worry about everything what's going on. Uh, I recently also read that it's being delayed a bit. Honestly, I see a few people having bad thoughts about the delays, but I feel they should rather delay it and test it a bit before actually releasing it, in hopes that something doesn't break, to be honest. Uh, Also, the new map, I hope there's gonna be some improvements on the new map. I generally expect more objects, more items, more, you know. But the problem, as we all know, with more objects in the game is people find some ways to cheat their way through some stuff and so on. So it's, you know, uh, I also did some work as a game tester before, and there's no way to test it enough for somebody to not glitch or dupe something in some way. It's
Yeah, that is.
impossible to do.
I was going to say that's probably one of the biggest things that's going to happen is all the new assets and stuff, and people being able to, do that phasing stuff and white wall and all sorts of nonsense. Do you think the new map will improve the player counts overall?
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. They also mentioned Livonia is gonna be for free in the base game. That's gonna 100% improve a lot of the player base for the game. Understandably, they gotta like put out some new DLCs and stuff and actually make money through the years. We've had so many free updates for the game, so many free updates for the game. I'm honestly totally fine with some paid DLCs. And I mean, if the price is gonna be like a normal price, affordable for everybody, I don't see a problem with that. And it's most likely gonna bring more people additionally to the map and additionally with the new assets and hopefully new improvements, as somebody else mentioned. Also the fishing, I'm honestly mostly prepared for that. And hopefully they bring out some new activities,
Yeah,
some new
100%.
mechanics, some new.
Yeah, some new mechanics and some new ways to play the game. That's definitely put it in. Anyone you would like to give a big shout out to for supporting your journey? Is there anyone in particular who has guided you along all those years?
Oh, mate, well, there's like I wouldn't know where to start. There's like so many people. Like my best buddy, nobody saw him for like 3, 4 years already. He's called his nickname is simply Beatbot. He's stopped playing the game, but he's generally the person who helped me with the coding on the start. Um, also, there's Mr. Rhino and Louis. Rhino is still around. Some of you might even know him. Louis hasn't been around for years, but these are generally the people who are there from the start, helping me build everything up, helping me with the coding, helping me with understanding the concept of the game, understanding uh, how should I say, understanding the community.
Yep.
They were my literal introduction into everything, I would say. Additionally, I would like to mention also Jaber, who helped me a lot through the from the start with a lot of coding and stuff. Even though he had his own kill feed, we were kind of competition, but he was a really nice guy, and I never felt with him like we were competition, but rather colleagues in parallel fields, I would say, parallel roads.
Yep.
And yeah,
Well, I suppose
nice. I met him
you were
not
both
what.
were pushing limits that were undiscovered, especially in the console world.
Sorry, can you repeat?
You and you two guys, especially at the very start, were, you know, putting out a product that wasn't available in the console world at that time. You guys are pushing new boundaries.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, for me, it was unexpected that the console itself could actually do a lot of the things it can do. For the part where uh, honestly, we don't thank enough Nitrado for actually giving us the API and stuff they gave us like from the start. It's like they had no need to actually do a lot of stuff they did, you know. And I mean, the biggest thank you for that goes to Nitrado. There's a lot of, for example, there's a lot of websites at the moment which host Dayz PC servers in GTA and Ark Survival and lots of games which don't supply you with half of the stuff which the trader actually gave us. So I would really say that Nitrader was the biggest, how should I say, help with the documentation, with the accessibility. I mean, even though it has some bugs and glitches, I mean,
Yep.
God, my own kill feed, my own program software, I've been writing software for 14 years now. It's like never something I wrote that was without any bugs or glitches. There's no perfect program. There's no perfect anything really, and totally fine with that. I'm totally fine with that.
That's probably the first time I've heard anyone give nitrado wrap. That's probably the first time I've ever. They do cop a lot of slack, and I think we are a little unknown of what was and what other sides of it could be, and that's a good example of how someone who's worked in the industry and worked with that real closely has seen the benefits of nitrado can give. So no, I'm very impressed in that statement. Um, would any of
I
our
mean,
yeah, fire away.
sorry, but for the nutritive part, as I mentioned, there's a lot of shortcomings, I gotta admit. But yeah, I mean, me personally, I'm the first one that says, "Oh yeah, they did this, they did that. It's a fault from them. That's it." But in the end, I rather have somebody there who does faults than somebody who doesn't do anything, you know?
Yes. Yeah, correct. First to complain, but don't mind giving them a pat on the back.
Yes, exactly.
Would any of our panel like to ask any questions?
Oh, I would.
Yep.
I would, please. Uh, can I just say, firstly, I don't really get uh, nervous ever, and very rarely, but I actually feel very nervous today. I feel like we've actually got a celebrity here today, so I'm feeling a little awkward. Okay, so first question. You mentioned before, Smiley, by the way, how you going? Um, sorry, I'm just like, giggles now because I'm nervous. Okay, so hi. Um,
Mhm.
so you mentioned about how you don't get a chance to play much Daisy because you're quite busy now. How do you balance your work on the bot with other aspects of your life?
Oh, yeah, that's a hard one to be honest. It's how should I say it? It's very hard to balance it at all, I would say, you know. The time zones don't fit most of the people, you know. There's most of the players are from the US and the UK, and mostly when I should be asleep, I'm online actually doing support for people, you know. But I don't mind it, you know. I've been used to working late nights and stuff. Uh, Generally, honestly, that's a nice question. Thank you for asking, because most of the people don't really even ask how should I say it? Like the balance is fine, I would say. You know, I still have time for the gym. I still have time to actually do something on the side. I don't feel like coding and working for the community is actually something where I'm draining from. You know, it's actually
Mm.
I'm rather getting more energy than I'm losing energy with the community. You know? And that's the biggest part why I actually stayed with the community all those years. You know, there's been a
Yeah.
few times where I really lost my temper. I really was thinking, oh, I should just leave. There's no reason for me to be here. But a lot of people just asked me, yeah, I just wanted to keep using some stuff or just wanted to talk to somebody, you know. And I'm
Yeah.
always here, you know. I'm an open person. I don't really hide anything. And uh, for the balance itself, as mentioned, it's like a small vacation every time when I get on with some nice people. You know, I met so many nice people through the years, and I don't know. I don't see it as a how is it called? I don't see it as work. I see it rather
Yeah,
as
like a
a
job.
hobby,
Yeah.
as
Oh, that's good.
even the
It's definitely Daisy community is definitely like you mentioned before, like with bots and things for like GTA, but definitely Daisy. When I came into the Daisy community a few years back, I was really taken aback to how different it was compared to every other community in any other game. It's so unique, and the people are unique, and how we connect with people. It's amazing the connections and that
oh,
that
the
we make in
connection is
the
fun.
Daisy community. It brings us very very close together. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's
But it's Yeah, and that's what keeps us here, isn't it?
Exactly. This is something you never see in any other community, you know. I've been working, as mentioned, with GTA and stuff, and people come and leave servers. They never stick around to actually meet somebody, actually play with somebody. I remember the first time I played Dayz, somebody picked me up with their car, geared me up, and I've been driving with it. I remember it well. We've been driving for 2 hours just talking. Like I never
Mm,
experienced something like that in a game like GTA or something. Uh, Daisy of itself is not much of the game, but the freedom to actually do what you want to do. And a lot of people actually want to be free and want to like talk with others, you know, and want to be
yeah.
communicating, want to be helpful, want to be just team up with somebody and have a nice chat, have a nice day, have a nice and
Yeah,
that's
exactly. And
something you
have that
cannot
connection.
find. Exactly. And that's something you cannot find anywhere. That's literally something you cannot find anywhere else. Like, for me at least, I couldn't find it anywhere else.
No, I agree. There's no other game out there like it. Like anywhere. It's so unique that way. And the fact that as well that we have that like a lot of games as well, like I'm from Australia, so and a lot of games won't give us that choice to be able to connect with other people around the world. Like when when you launch up the game, even if it's an open world server, it will just automatically pop me into a server with the best ping, which is, and I'm just with other Australians. Whereas DayZ, we have that freedom where we can, go on, meet people from all around the world, all different cultures. And I think the most, yeah, and I think the most beautiful part is that, you don't know who's, you know, uh, behind the mic or, behind behind the keyboard or the controller, and they can be of any age, race, background, had a different cultural upbringing, religion, whatever. But like you mentioned, you sit in a car with someone that just goes away and you're just connecting on a real human level, and regardless of everything else that surrounds us in our real life. And I think that's a really beautiful thing.
That's quite beautifully said, to be honest. You've wrapped it up nicely for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got a way with
It's
words.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, clearly, clearly.
No, that's definitely just when you were talking about that first experience. That's was my when I first started playing. It was something that just really touched me about Daisy and why I continue to play because got some really great friendships. Um, you know, beautiful friendships from people all around the world who are yeah definitely what keeps me here. I do have another question. Probably I'll probably take you up a lot of a lot of time, but I do have sorry, but I do have another question. Um, just when you were talking about balance, which thank you for answering. Now, don't have to answer. This might be a little bit more personal, but can you tell us a little bit about sort of what you do in your IRL? Like you mentioned, you go to the gym, and can you tell us sort of a bit about like who you are?
I don't have a problem. Like I can tell you, like generally my whole day, it's nothing too complicated. Generally, I wake up mostly early in the mornings, like 7, 8 a.m. latest. I have a main job, which is like also programming. Currently, I'm doing Java backend development, and I do there like 3, 4 hours from 9 a.m. to like 1, 2 p.m. Generally, in the meantime, I'm also online on my PC or another laptop, where I'm constantly online on Discord and checking the live chat on the website, waiting for tickets to come in. Uh, Generally, afterwards, after like 6 p.m., when the night comes, I generally go to gym. I'm mostly at the gym for 1.5 hour. Depends
Hmm.
on the time. Mostly go cycling in the evenings, 11 p.m. 11 p.m. I go generally cycling outside. But in the meantime, it's mostly sitting on the PC or actually just uh, answering tickets. It's
Hmm.
fine by me, to be honest. I got enough physical movement with the gym and the bicycle. Uh,
Yep.
Hopefully, somewhere soon, I get a standing desk and maybe put a treadmill underneath me. Maybe even generate some electricity that way. But
Yeah, so then you could, yeah, kill two birds with one
yeah,
stone,
I'm really
so to
trying to
speak.
move. Really trying to move to like keep it a bit healthy. I'm currently 28, but most of the people my age, also myself included, a few years back, I had back problems, I had disc problems, this not bigger health problems, but generally the back, generally the
Yeah.
back. Uh, Carrying my teammates and stuff, but generally sitting on the PC. Generally sitting all day on the PC.
Yeah, we got to work on that core. We got to work on that
So,
core strength to
yes,
support our
exactly,
backs.
exactly. Core strength, yeah. Yeah, I'll
That's what I'm
recommend
working on at the
everybody to
moment.
just. I recommend everybody to just walk around a bit or do anything, any kind of movement, any kind of movement. It's really a game changer, I would say. Even 20 minutes a day of movement is like really a game changer for your health.
Yeah.
Uh, but generally, that's it. I spend my all my free time I spend with my wife. She doesn't play much games, but she's like a bookworm, and I mostly sit around beside her while I'm working, and that's generally my day. I don't go out much. I don't do much. How it's called? I'm not sure. It depends on the culture, I would say, but we got a really big coffee culture here. It's
Oh
like
yeah.
everybody goes out here every few hours. I want to drink a coffee outside, drink a coffee outside every few hours. I really enjoy that. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
in the Balkans. If you've ever been here, this is like specifically what we're known for, like a cigarette and a coffee outside, and always black coffee, always the black coffee.
Well, ours is in Australia, similar, but it's beer.
That's
Ours is
it.
usually let's go
Cigarette and a
to the
beer.
pub and have a cigarette and a beer.
Yeah, it's
Very similar.
similar everywhere, very similar.
Very true. Well, thank you so much for taking the time out to answer my questions and lovely to meet you. Thank you, thank you. We
Nice,
appreciate everything that you
nice.
do for the
I'm glad to be
community.
here. Nah, it's really least I can do. Really happy to be here. Even more than you,
Yeah.
trust me.
Uh,
No, it's been great. Thank you. And I'll hand the floor over to my other
that's it. Mr.
co-hosts
Q,
here if they
Mr.
have
Noah, Mr.
questions.
Brandon. Anyone like to ask
Yeah, I
questions?
got. Yeah, so, well, first off, congratulations, Mr. Edin, on everything you've done with Floorspot. It's been around for a long time, and it's probably one of the better bots out there in the Dayz community. But is there anything new and innovative that you're working on at the moment that you could share with us?
You mean specifically for the Dayz bot or something else?
Either or. I know you were mentioning that you've been working on the GTA 5 5M at the moment, which is coming to console soon, I understand.
Yeah, hopefully it comes to console. To be honest, so far I know Rockstar has bought out 5N. So I'm in hopes that they're gonna actually bring it to console. But in the meantime, I've been working on Ark Survival, Conan Exiles, and so on. I would really like to like widen the range, widen the range of the community we can get together. It's not really much about the bot, but rather just trying out like what I can actually do at this point. I've been used to actually just doing dry coding, like specifically for server management and so on stuff, you know. But this is actually something that's actually fun, It's actually fun.
Yeah,
And
nice.
but yeah, I've been trying my hands on a bit of 5M, Ark Survival, Conan Exiles, but my main focus is really the Daisy community because God knows how long I'm gonna be, I'm gonna keep doing this, you know, and I just wanna have like, I don't wanna leave people, you know. It's really, for me, it's really hard to actually leave somebody behind or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Awesome.
And I feel like if I would just say, like one day just be like, yeah, I'm gonna stop doing this, I'm gonna do something else. And I feel like Daisy is still requiring most of my attention. So I always do a little bit on the side, but 90% of my time is actually here
Yeah,
with
nice.
everybody.
You cannot leave. You are stuck forever.
Yes,
Yeah.
None of
and
us
then what?
can.
That's it.
It's a Hotel California.
That's it. All right. Brandon, Noah, any questions?
Yeah, yeah. Uh, I don't know. Wait 1 second.
Yep.
Oh
I
yeah,
understand.
yeah. Sorry. Yeah, that's the problem. You know, you keep forgetting your fucking questions. Uh,
Take your time.
yeah, I
I think
forgot
the
my
door is
questions. I
locked.
had the questions earlier, but it's gone now. So I'm just gonna ask. I'm not sure about this question. Aber was geht ab?
Ja, das ist gut bei mir. Bei dir?
Ja, bei mir auch eigentlich so. Wie läuft Leben? Ganz gut, ja.
I knew this was gonna happen.
Ja.
Oh,
Ich glaube, das
generell
Spiel hat
gut,
mein
ja.
Leben ruiniert, Alter. Ja, und bei dir?
Ja, bei mir auch. Zum
Ja.
Glück habe ich noch die Heirat irgendwie.
Ah, wirklich, ja. Das ist, ja. Ich hasse dieses Spiel. Yeah, that's my questions, thank you.
Ja, ja, danke.
Ja,
Sehr tiefgängig,
alles Gute
ja.
noch, ne?
Yeah,
Ja,
that's what
gleichfalls.
we're international here. That's what we're all about.
Well, Rob, you have to include subtitles on that YouTube.
I'm gonna have to. I've got no idea. What about you, Brandon? Brandon's from the 8 community. Dev teams for the Receding Man's 8 server. He's still here and awake. He's chilling in the back. He's just
Any
chilling.
questions, Brandon?
Ah, the night. Yeah.
Yeah, the knight at the back.
Yeah.
No, he's just chilling. All right.
Our
Well,
protector.
very good little one-on-one.